Hello, welcome pen friends. It's the 4th anniversary of me making videos for YouTube for fountain pen inks and fountain pens and everything related, and I just wanted to come on and reflect a little bit about that. Actually, it took me by surprise. It came up so suddenly, it seemed like, because in my mind it seemed like it was later in the month, but I pulled out my old bullet journals just to make sure, and I realized it's today. So here we are, September 7, 2021, and I made it to the 4-year point. That is amazing. And I just wanted to I didn't make anything. You guys really make the channel, because without an audience, I doubt I would keep having things to say, you know. In fact, when I made that first video, it was about the cigar box I had gotten, and I got it right here with me. I still remember thinking, well, you know, I just was overflowing with wanting to share it with somebody, but I didn't know anybody in real life, you know, in person, who was into fountain pens. So of course I sent a picture of it to my mom and told her about it, and you know, told some people about it. But it wasn't until I came on and made the video where I started connecting with other pen people, and it just stunned me that people watched the video, because you know, I had a video about a flood that we had here, and then I had a private video with my grandkids. Of course, nobody was going to watch that because I didn't make that public. But you know, it just stunned me because people actually watched and commented. Good heavens, you know! And I went from having like two random subscribers to getting subscribers. And today, as we stand, right before I came on to do the video, 5,531 subscribers. That's amazing. I mean, it surpasses anything I ever could have thought about. So, you know, after I did that video, then I got heavily involved with the ink flights. Ink Journal puts out an ink flight where they send 7 ink samples and pen goodies every month. And so I don't do that anymore because I've gotten so much that I've had to make a concerted effort to use what I have, and to tell people don't send me anymore, because I've got so many to explore. I don't want to waste things. But anyway, that's, you know, beside the point. The coming on here and talking about inks really launched things, really got things going, because that was where I really felt like my most joy in the hobby is in the inks, and it still is. I love the pens. I do. And you know, I'm kind of pen crazy as well. But the inks are where my heart is, because if it was just the pens and I could find the colors that I really like to write with, then I'm not sure I'd be in fountain pens. But the luxury, the enjoyment of having all the colors you could ever dream of available, and be able to refill your own pen, that's where it's at. Because I was going through those Energel, the Pentel. Well, I've got one right here because I'm using them up still. I've got Energel, liquid gel. It's got a needle point. Anyway, I used the black and the purple and anything I could find. You know, I would just feel like, wow, I'm going through these like crazy. And even once I discovered getting the refills, it was crazy, you know. And so to be able to use any color and have it on demand, that's so much fun. So it's been kind of a varied thing being here on YouTube. I've done all kinds of different things and gone through all kinds of within the hobby, kind of like, you know, if you go on a food jag where you eat, you know, macaroni and cheese all the time or something. Well, I've done that. I could see that over the years, how I've been really into certain things, and just come on here and shared with you guys everything that I was experiencing and looking at and going through. So I don't know what this 5th year will be, but I'm really happy that I made it kind of through a pretty serious slump. And it helped me a lot that pen friends just encouraged me to come on and do whatever I wanted to do. You know, just kind of try to drop some of the rules and regulations that I set up for myself. And I really have had pen pals write me and kind of help me to realize that it doesn't really matter. It's, you know, and what does really matter, there's two things that matter to me anyway. One is the connection, just connecting with other pen and ink people. You know, that is like key. That's really important. And there's many ways to do that, but I've kind of found my gang on YouTube, you know, and many people have now started channels. So I'm really happy because there are people that I can watch, you know, and so that's one connection. Just, you know, it continues. YouTube continues to be my favorite place really to connect with pen people. And the second one is contribution, realizing that, you know, sometimes when I don't even realize it, I'm making some sort of contribution to someone else's day. You know, whether that be that they would know that they'd like to get a sample of an ink, or they would see a review and say, no, I guess that pen is not for me, or maybe it is, you know. But also just the inspiration, the fact that we can inspire each other and we don't even know it. Well, sometimes we find out because comments are made, you know, and that's how you find out. Somebody will make a comment and say, you know, you made my day. I had a hard week. I worked all week. And then, you know, your video was kind of the bright spot and you're going, oh my gosh, I wish I would have made it better. You know, you know, you almost want to go back and watch your own video to see, holy cow, you know, really? I mean, sometimes it's hard to believe, but we do. We inspire each other. Just kind of like the hobby provides that break that, I don't know, it's hard to put into words, but it does even for me. And I'm working from home. I'm, you know, and not living the same life I used to when I would leave the house to go to work. And it's not that I don't remember those days really well, but I'm living a different sort of life now where the hobby also gives me something to look forward to and different, you know, I've always written, I've always been a writer, but the joy and the fun in it now is expanded so much. It's just, it's unbelievable, you know. But since I was a little girl, I've written with something. And always, they tell me that when they would take me to the store as just a little tiny kid, I would get these little pads of paper at the Ben Franklin and the $5 and dime stores, wherever we went. That's how I wanted to spend my whatever money they gave me, or if they let me buy one thing, that's what I would get. It was paper and crayons and stuff like that. So I came into fountain pens because of bullet journaling, and I'm still hooked on bullet journaling. I don't think that as long as there's breath in me, I'm sure I'll still be bullet journaling, because it just keeps my thoughts sorted out, which is a miracle. You know, it's a real miracle, and a place to put all my thoughts so that I don't have to worry about forgetting what I'm thinking about and what I'm planning. It's just, you know, and I came in and I found Boho Berry, Cara Benz, and she was heavily into fountain pens at that time. And I just, at first I thought, there's no way I'm going to do this because it's too much money. You know, frankly, that's what I thought. I thought $15 for a fountain pen was crazy. I thought, that's crazy. I mean, I don't think I even knew how much the little Schaefer fountain pen that I had when I was a kid cost. And the only thing I ever worried about was the cartridges, you know, running out of cartridges. But my mom, being a writer, she would go to, it's now called the front desk, and I'm not sure what it was called then, but an office supply place in Derby, between Derby and Newport, Vermont. And my friend Riel actually took over that store. He worked there though when I was a kid, and we'd go in and she'd get her cartridges, and I would always kind of, you know, I didn't like the blue very much, but I liked the black better. And I don't even know how how they came, but Mom would give me cartridges. This was when I was not really having any money of my own other than a small allowance. So, oh boy, life changes. But gee, I knew I had a lot to say, but I didn't realize I'd be quite this scattered. So we're going to, you know, starting tomorrow, go into the 5th year, and I've got a few ideas of things that I'm wanting to work on, and definitely wanting to slow down and fully appreciate and explore all the things I already have here. You guys have sent me so many ink samples, and most of them I've gotten around to in some form or another, but not every single one. And it always amazes me sometimes when I'll get into my little containers and say, wow, I haven't tried that ink yet. What is going on here? So my big celebration or like gift to myself, or however you want to say it, for this year is purchasing the Inkvent. The Diamine Inkvent, which is a calendar that'll have the 25 days, December 1st through 25th, covered with little, I think they said it's going to be 12, if I'm not mistaken, it's 12 mil a day, and then 30 mil on Christmas Day, which is the, December 25th. So, but that won't ship out to me until October 1st. So I don't actually, like last year we celebrated the 3rd year anniversary with the Noodler's King Philip Requiem, which was that bright magenta, purple, fuchsia, it turned out to be very hardy, very permanent, can stain pens. But anyway, it was a great time, and I still have a little bit of that ink left, so. Oh my goodness. So, let's see. Pen clubs, show and tell. That's what I wrote down. That's how I look at YouTube, for me anyway. I think of coming on here, and whether I'm making a video or whether I'm watching one, I think of it as a place to meet up with other fountain pen and ink users and collectors and the whole 9 yards. And it feels a lot like a pen club to me. So, and I value and appreciate that. It's amazing that there's a platform where we can just come and even if all you have is your cell phone, that's what I have, cell phone and a little $15 mic, and contribute and share and watch and learn and explore, really, just explore. And I'm inspired all the time. So I was going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing this week. Actually, this morning I've been working on trying to get these apart. These are the Pilot Varsities. I've got one in purple and one in black. I've had them for like 4 years, and it's time to refill them. The purple went completely dry on me, and the, oh no, it's the other way around. The black one went completely dry. The purple is still going just slightly, but they need to be refilled. And I'm having a heck of a time getting the nibble come off, but the whole feed has to be pulled out. So I've been working on that. And then I've got, pen friend Sharon sent me a pen to explore, which is a Lambatu imitation Curados. So that's really interesting. And it's gorgeous, by the way. It's really pretty. I've watched a couple of videos on that one. The other thing I was really thinking of, and when I get done filming this video, that's what I'm going to go do. What I'd like to do is keep some sort of a journal about this 5th year. And it's actually it'll be the 6th year in fountain pens, but the 5th year on YouTube. So it's more of a hobby journal that I'd like to start. And I'm even thinking about just doing it in a really small one so it won't be intimidating. I'm going to look over what I have, which is, a pretty good collection of notebooks and things like that. And I'd like to kind of keep a little record. It doesn't have to be daily, but sometimes I'll think to myself, well, nothing really happened this week in pens, but I don't really think that's true. I think there's always something either on my radar that I'm trying to explore, different ink colors, or, what matches this ink, and I keep a pretty good track of inks that I really explore and splatter and all that, but I'd like to keep track of everything, all of the different things. What's interesting me, what's taken my, pen case, whatever it might be. And I'm trying to think, there's something incoming right now. It's a TWSBI Eco green translucent, but that's going to be a birthday present for me. So that has to be wrapped up and put away. And what else? There's something else going on. How soon we forget, right? we order and forget, or we well, the Inkvent, that's going to come, that'll be shipped out from Dallas, from Dromgools on October 1st. And then I have a book coming. So actually I've been pretty good at slowing down the acquiring, which is really my goal. Slow it way down because there's so much here to appreciate and use up and enjoy and talk about for like infinity. You know, I could definitely cover the next full year without anything new coming in. But the little hobby journal,
10 a.m.
Wow, it feels a lot later than that, I'll tell you. I got myself real tired over the weekend. And then last night, try as I might, with a really good book, I kept falling asleep. So I've really, yeah, I'm a lot more wide awake today. But I think, you know, I think that's just pretty much what I wanted to say. It was a big thank you, for one thing, for you being here, for you subscribing if you have, and for watching if you watch, and you probably are if you're seeing this, and commenting. It's an interaction that I totally appreciate. I really, really do. And it's fun. And, you know, several times I've thought about just dropping the ads as I kind of have stepped down from intense reviewing and from, you know, I just used to do things differently, and maybe ads were more appropriate at one time. But what I've discovered is that they will run ads anyway. And so I go in and I take out those mid-reel ads every time, because I don't want anybody to have to go through that. That's, you know, I don't like that when I'm watching. I'll put up with it, but, you know, the video, if it's real good and everything, but I have noticed that YouTube will put ads even on the smaller channels that are not partners or whatever, and I don't understand how that works. I don't understand, because there are larger channels with completely ad-free. So that's something to learn about, something for me to really dive into and learn. And for now, I'm just leaving it be, because honestly, it does help. It helps me to get things, you know, for the hobby, and we will drop guilt and just go on. And I'll try to just make it as painless as possible by getting rid of those mid-reel ads. And I count on you, and I know I get feedback from time to time, so I kind of keep track of what people are thinking, and I do listen to that. So I have been having quite a bit of trouble with spam ads and really, really bad stuff, you know, that I've had to come in several times and report, delete, get rid of, and oh my goodness. But that's, you know, I think that's something that happens automatically, and it's just a shame. You would think that they'd be caught easier, but apparently not. So anyway, I'm doing my best with that too. But here we are, and it's been 4 full years. I've met so many people and had such a great time, and hopefully, and I actually see evidence that, you know, there's been some inspiration here, and some maybe just help knowing whether you want to look further into an ink or a pen. So thank you for being here, and we'll just see what the next year brings. You know, it's right now, in this blazing heat that we're having and everything that's going on, it's enough for me just to be here, just to stay and continue, and just see what, you know, see how things evolve next. So that's all. Bye for now, and do take care and stay safe.